The moment the lights flickered back to life, Kevin Stewart jumped up in glee. With a hearty laugh, he made his way to the living room and turned on the TV. He decided to celebrate the return of electricity by blasting his favourite band Sabaton on the TV. The apartment filled with the rhythm of Primo Victoria. Kevin started dancing around, lost in the music. The front door opened and Momo Kawashima walked in. She stopped in her tracks as she saw Kevin dancing around, the apartment echoing with the loud music. Momo burst into laughter, finding the sight of Kevin dancing around amusing. Kevin noticed her and waved, still dancing to the music. "Can you turn it down a bit?" Momo asked, her voice barely audible over the music. Kevin, not ready to end his celebration, shook his head and kept dancing. Momo, having had enough of the noise, walked over and turned off the TV. The sudden silence took Kevin by surprise, and he looked at Momo, slightly upset. Kevin, however, quickly turned his frown upside down. He led Momo to the kitchen, excited to show her what he had been cooking for dinner. He showed Momo the fridge, stocked with food he bought. He also mentioned plans to use his laptop later, now that they had power again. Despite the interruption, Kevin was still in a good mood. He continued to express his joy about the power, even as his mood started to shift towards annoyance. Suddenly, Kevin mentioned that he had unplugged Momo's stuff. He tossed a frying pan in frustration, surprising Momo. Momo, unfazed by Kevin's sudden outburst, pointed out that he needed to get rid of the flies in the apartment. Kevin, still annoyed, grabbed a broom. In a moment of playful anger, Kevin swung the broom at Momo, who laughed and dodged his attacks. The apartment filled with their laughter, the tension from earlier forgotten. Suddenly, their other roommate, Miho Nishizumi, walked in. She had been out and was just returning, finding Kevin and Momo in the middle of their playful fight. Miho joined in the laughter when Kevin suddenly farted, causing Momo to laugh even harder. Kevin, embarrassed, tried to play it off, but he couldn't hide his reddening face. Trying to divert attention from his embarrassment, Kevin started to scratch his ass with a spoon. This only made Momo and Miho laugh harder. Despite the embarrassment, Kevin joined in the laughter. The laughter eventually died down and the trio sat down for dinner. The food was delicious and they complimented Kevin on his cooking skills. After dinner, Kevin finally had the chance to use his laptop. With power restored, he could finally catch up on his favorite shows and games. Momo and Miho joined Kevin in the living room, all of them enjoying the return of electricity. Despite the earlier outburst, the apartment was filled with a sense of camaraderie. Before they knew it, it was late. They decided to call it a night, each of them heading to their own rooms. As they said their good nights, they couldn't help but smile. They had started the day with no electricity, and it had led to a series of unexpected events. Despite the initial annoyance, they had ended the day with laughter and a stronger bond. As Kevin lay in bed, he couldn't help but reflect on the day. It was a day filled with ups and downs, laughter and annoyance, but it was a day he wouldn't forget. The power outage had been an inconvenience, but it had also brought them closer. It was a reminder that even in the most annoying situations, there was always a silver lining. The next morning, they woke up to the sound of the alarm clock. It was a sound they hadn't heard in weeks, but it was a welcome sound. It was a sign of normalcy returning. As they went about their morning routine, they couldn't help but appreciate the simple things, the ability to make coffee, to charge their phones, to watch TV, things they had taken for granted. As they left for work, they shared one last laugh about the previous day. It was a day they would always remember, a day when a power outage sparked a stronger connection between them.